There's always existed in Asia these hidden invisible fortunes and people who spend millions of dollars a year on the finest things in life, but do it totally under the radar. How much of my book is based in reality? About 150%. Couture Week in Paris is the creme de la creme. We're talking about dresses that start in the tens of thousands and go up to the millions. And only about 2,000 women in the world can afford to dress this way. I was lucky enough to spend Couture Week in Paris with some truly stylish insiders. Heart Evangelista. She's really the darling of the Philippines. She's one of the most acclaimed actresses. She's also a really gifted artist. She's had amazing museum shows in the Philippines of her paintings.
Hi!
So here we are. And then there's the Yeoh sisters, Michelle and Rachel, who are so much wiser than their years. They grew up in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, but for the last, I think, 7 or 8 years have been living in England. Thank you for organizing Dior so I could come with you guys.
No,
I really
we're so
appreciate
excited.
that.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure.
Yeah, it was like a last minute surprise. That was like, cool, I get to come with you guys.
I guess that's part of Fashion Week.
Yeah, everything
is
happens at the
always
last minute.
Exactly.
Yeah. Beiping Chang is this dynamo. She, I think, was raised partially in Sydney and in Singapore. She now makes Hong Kong her home, where she's become one of the most important fashion influencers in Asia.
It's always nice coming back to Fashion Week and you join your fashion family and see everybody. It's always a nice little reunion.
I don't think Americans, for the most part, really understand how this level of Asian women shop.
When I see something come down the runway, I know in my gut and in my heart that it's meant to be. I think that connection makes everything more special.
Everything's really about this private experience.
Couture itself was made to make the client feel special.
Exactly.
It's made for you.
Going to these very exclusive fashion shows and then going for your private fittings. But then also there are jewelry showings and jewelry parties where they meet jewelers and select stones and really be in that world of helping to create what they buy. So the spending is on a whole other level.
I really want to see the behind the scenes, and the seamstresses are the real heroes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's true.
It's so nice to see where all the materials and all the embroidery comes from before it gets to the runway. Like Lesage, I'm in love with. Like the embroidery is just so beautiful, and like all the shoes for Chanel is like made in Massaro. Couture is really special because it celebrates the highest level of craftsmanship and creativity.
So it's actually like buying art. Like,
Yeah,
it's really
literally.
art, and it's
Couture
like
is wearable art. And like,
Exactly.
if you can put it on yourself, why not?
There are only about 15 haute couture designers in the world because the standards are so high. Each one of them is personally appointed by the Chambre Syndicale of Haute Couture. These dresses go from the runway to a one-of-a-kind custom-fit piece. So when these women are buying a gown, they know they are literally buying a piece of history.
You have an appointment and then you just get to try on all these beautiful clothes and decide which piece you want.
even just going to fittings or like when you're attending shows and they're like there putting dresses on you. It's just so fun.
On average, we do sort of 3 fittings because I think my body changes during that time anyways.
What are the shows are you looking forward to?
Oh, definitely Giambattista Valli tonight.
Yeah.
He's my favorite, as you know. So
He did your
to
wedding
see.
dress,
Yes,
right?
he did.
Yeah. What was the process like?
I came to Paris a year before my wedding. At first I was only going to do one dress, and then in the end, evolved into 2 very different dresses, which was great because the main dress, was a big tulle creation. And the second one is entirely made out of silk. So, and it had these handcrafted petals that he pinned like each petal on.
So did he supervise the fittings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was there.
So he's very hands-on.
Very hands-on. Yeah, he's really an artist that really cares about his craft. It's such a beautiful, magical experience.
Even if you don't put it on yourself, like
No, even just looking
archive
at
it,
it, right?
it's just perfect. I mean, it tells a story of this time when I went to Paris. I got this dress for me. When you have your kids, it's something you share and pass on. I'm a collector. I love collecting bags, Birkins specifically, and Kellys. It's a really good investment.
You do the most beautiful customizing on Birkins, too. You paint on them, don't you?
Well,
I mean,
I
when
do.
did that start?
I had a lizard skin Birkin, and it was orange, and I was eating French fries at Chili's.
Oh, gosh.
And they had
Grease.
cheese on, yeah. So
Love that.
I did not notice that it was already under my bag when I brought it home. I tried to clean it, I asked around, and it was just impossible to fix. So I said, okay, why don't I paint on it? And I loved it.
Do you get a sense that you are part of this new generation of sort of fashion influencers?
I don't
You go
know
to
if
these
we are
shows?
influencers, and that's the
I
thing.
think we are.
Yeah.
I think
We just enjoy the shows. Because, I mean, we started with our mom originally when we were like 10.
My love for fashion really came from my grandmother. She only ever wore Escada and Chanel. I think anyone that enjoys the beauty in life loves fashion to a certain extent.
You know, there's no other way to put it. They lived these lives of imperial splendor.